Hey everyone, it's Kathy.
And Paul here with iDulting.
We're here to help you navigate the crazy world of adulting.
Because let's be real, it's a wild ride. We'll be dropping tips, sharing stories,
And maybe even spilling some embarrassing secrets along the way.
so get comfortable, grab your favorite drink, get ready to laugh, learn, and level up your adulting game. This is iDulting. Don't forget to like, follow, and or subscribe, and share this podcast. Head over to iDulting.com for more information and to submit questions for us about iDulting.
And maybe even pick up some of our new merchandise. And if you know any fellow adults who need some guidance, send them our way.
Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Guess we're okay. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for tuning in or downloading today's episode of the iDulting podcast. Today, we got a special treat. We're going to share some of our most recent exploits. We took a trip. We're going to tell you all about it.
Another travel episode. We went to Williamsburg, Virginia. We chose to drive, although it is a long drive, about 7 hours from our location in North Jersey. It's not undoable. And with 3 adults trailing behind or filling our car, it actually was a pretty easy drive down.
It was. We were able to fit 3 adults, plus us, that's 5, plus all of our stuff in the car.
Yeah, kudos Honda Pilot. Got more room than anticipated.
Sure does. And an excellent place to play luggage Tetris. But we also used some of the luggage to make a wall between 2 of those adults.
Yeah, they work better when there's a barrier between them.
Sure do.
So we want to talk about some of the things we saw while we were in Williamsburg. There are a ton of local shops in historic Williamsburg. There are actually a lot of shops right along the tour route.
There are, many of which are in historically correct context. Is that a good way to say it?
Yeah, they're set up like they would be back in the day, minus, some of the more modern amenities like a candy store. I'm sure there was some sort of sweet store back in the day, but not the kind of candy that we buy today.
Speaking of modern amenities, we were even able to buy historically appropriate, what was the powder? Body powder?
We did buy some body powder that came with a little powder poof, and it was in a wax paper container. It was kind of cool.
Right. We were coming from New Jersey winter into Virginia
Heat. It was hot.
On that day. It was hot.
It was hot compared to what we came from. We came from 30 degrees, and I think it was like 80 when we got there.
It was, until it wasn't. We'll get into that later, I'm sure. There's many tours offered in the area. There's historic Williamsburg. There's Jamestown, Yorktown. All those tours. We didn't get to do all of them. We just did historic Williamsburg this time.
But we got to walk through the governor's mansion, and they gave you a lot of information, and it was actually pretty cool. And all the employees dress in correct time era clothing.
And some of the visitors.
It was actually cute to see.
Yeah, we saw a couple of young people coming by dressed in
Historic clothing.
It was cool.
Some of the buildings there were original, but a lot of them have been restored pretty close to the original. Not everything, because, fires happened and damage happened, and they tried to go by the original blueprints to rebuild everything so that it was historically accurate, but can only go so far on blueprints that were hand drawn in 1800s.
Very true. There was a lot of pictures of the archaeological digs that went on in the discovery, because Williamsburg was completely wiped out by fire and the British Navy at some point. It was the capital of Virginia until it wasn't.
There's actually the courthouse that I was a little fascinated with because it looked unfinished. So I asked someone who worked there why the columns were missing from the front of the building. And they said they actually stored the building, put columns up, and then found original blueprints, and there were no columns, so they took them away. It looks strange, but it's how it was built.
It does look like it should have columns. There was food, people. It was yummy.
There was a lot of different restaurants. Seems to be that every turn we made, there was a strip of restaurant after restaurant. There were regular chains that we are accustomed to on the East Coast, like Chipotle and McDonald's, Taco Bell. There was a lot of chain restaurants, but there are also so many local restaurants that we just didn't have enough time to try them all. We did get to a few.
I think it's time we share our travel eating preference. We spoke about the chains being there. When we travel, we try to avoid those chains. Not that there's anything wrong with them. Simply because we like to get local flavor.
Right. We like to try some local restaurants and whatever their specialty is and whatever that area is known for food-wise. That way we get to experience food from all of the places we visit.
Now, with that clearly on the table, we did go to a chain restaurant. In fact, we went to two. One we didn't even know it was a chain.
Yeah, it was still good food, though.
It was. We went to Cookout.
Oh, and we know that's a chain restaurant, but we don't have those in New Jersey, so we took our kids so that they could experience Cookout.
We went to Plaza Azteca.
Correct, which we went to not knowing it was a chain restaurant because we also don't have those here.
Both solid choices. Cookout is like a Southern Burger King-esque place.
Yeah, it's a hamburger place. It's got good food and it's quick and inexpensive. It was a good lunch day.
It was a good lunch day. And one of our iDults requested the Plaza Azteca. She found it in the little magazine that was given to us by the resort.
We also went to a place called the Jefferson Restaurant. It was really close to our hotel. It is a local restaurant owned by a local firefighter, retired firefighter.
No, he's still active.
And he also owns another restaurant a few buildings down. So we went in and the food was okay. I'm not going to tell everyone it's gourmet. It was very local food, very local flavor. But there was one thing that seemed to, I don't know, light the pants on fire of the guy paying the bill. What was that?
Peanut soup. Never heard of it. Certainly know about it now. To the point we have the recipe and we'll be experimenting with our own peanut soup.
He was just fascinated with it. He thought it was the best thing he's ever eaten.
If you ever get the opportunity, I urge you, try it.
Right. I mean, I would go there and order whatever you'd like, but if you get a chance, order a cup of peanut soup at the Jefferson Restaurant and see if you like it.
And let us know. To me, when I first had it, it kind of short circuits your brain.
Because it kind of tastes like peanut sauce, but warm and in a soup.
And delicious, but still confusing for the first bite because it's not something I was expecting.
It's not something we're used to. We've never, ever had peanut soup.
And now we're going to make it. Maybe we'll do a whole episode on making it.
And just so you guys are aware, there are a ton of pancake houses in Williamsburg. Apparently, and I learned this when we were there, it is the pancake capital. That's what they're known for. Pancakes.
We went to another chain.
What?
Pancakes made me think of it. On the way home, we stopped at another chain that the iDults had never had up here. Waffle House.
Oh, that's right. We did stop at Waffle House.
Another solid chain choice for us Yankees.
Next up are some local gift shops.
Oh,
There are
the Trading Post.
Yes,
there
there are a whole bunch of local gift shops, so you can get, your Williamsburg paraphernalia, your hats and your keychains and your mugs, your magnets and T-shirts.
Your swords, your blunderbusters, your muskets.
Yeah, it's very strange. You can go in there and buy an abnormally large knife, and you just buy it. They don't seem to care. I guess Virginia, things are different.
A desktop cannon.
But we did find in our hotel that we had a book that they gave us when we got there, and it had a ton of coupons for all of the local places, plus some of the chains. And one of the coupons was for the Trading Post, which is a gift shop. The nice part is that we went into the Trading Post. The kids picked a couple things they liked. We got to use our coupon, and when we were paying, they printed out another coupon for the other gift shop down the street. That was another 15% off your purchase. So we went down there and we got some ice cream and saved 15%.
Very good ice cream, too. We're going to shift gears and start talking about our resort and accommodations. The place we stayed was called the Patrick Henry Square. It was a pretty nice place.
It did have a beautiful pool. It was an indoor pool inside of kind of what I would describe as like a greenhouse. It had a metal roof, but all the walls were all glass.
It had a wonderful game room.
It did have a good game room. We took everyone downstairs actually at different times, I think, and had some fun.
Miss Kathy was a secret gamer. She got to play Miss Pac-Man.
I did get to play Miss Pac-Man. It's been a hot minute.
We had tons of space this time as opposed to some of our previous accommodations where we stayed in a more hotel-style room. We had a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment.
Kind of like an apartment, like a condo, a suite. Yeah.
It didn't have a champagne tub, though. That was a little let down.
It did have pretty much everything you needed. It had dishes, pots and pans, utensils. It did not have an oven, but it did have a cooktop and a microwave, a coffee maker and a toaster, a full-size refrigerator. So as far as food goes, it was great for if you wanted to make your own food, which we never did. But
we never got to it.
It was really good to store and heat up leftovers.
We did do that and had ice cream.
And the property was beautiful. It could be because the seasons are a little different in Virginia, but the grass was already green and everything was well maintained.
Well, most days the grass was green till it wasn't. There was an outdoor fireplace, gas-fired fireplace and sitting area. We didn't spend a whole lot of time at that. By the time we got back to the resort at night, it was getting kind of chilly and we would hang out inside.
We also chose to go to an escape room. The reason we did that was because our plan was to go to Busch Gardens. We had purchased pre-season tickets. They're a lot cheaper when you buy them before the season starts. You can find a lot of discounts and sales if you're going to purchase pre-season tickets to Busch Gardens. The kids were excited. We were excited. It was within minutes of where we were staying. They open in mid-March, but if your plan is to go to Busch Gardens when they open, watch out for the crazy weather.
No joke. We brought, what are you going to say, 1.5 inches, 2 inches of snow with us?
Yeah, we didn't bring it. It just kind of followed us, I think.
It did. No exaggeration at all. We were walking around Williamsburg sweating, needing body powder or whatever we call it. And then the next day we were freezing.
Yeah, we got there on Monday afternoon and the weather was nice. It was breezy and warm. Tuesday, Wednesday, it was 80 degrees. We were in shorts, putting on sunblock. And then Thursday, the day that we were supposed to go to Busch Gardens, 2 inches of snow fell and it was 35 degrees out. So since we couldn't go to Busch Gardens because the park actually shut down due to weather, we chose an escape room.
Wait. Back up a minute. You're telling me Busch Gardens shut down because of snow?
That's the email we got. The park is closed due to weather.
And they must have rebated us our money right away.
They didn't, but they do have a no refund policy. We did eventually get the money back for our tickets. They were very nice about refunding us. It just took a long time for it to happen.
And they were gracious enough to tell us that we could use those tickets any day between the day we had them and April 30th.
Well, and that was how we wound up getting a refund because we discussed with them that we're from New Jersey and it's a 7-hour drive and we're probably not going to be back in the next couple of weeks to use tickets. So they did refund us our money for our tickets. Maybe next year.
Another lesson learned, buy the trip insurance if it covers the people that you're supposed to trip to canceling.
Because we couldn't do Busch Gardens, we went to an escape room. It was actually a lot of fun. The place is called Room Escape in Williamsburg. The host and the guy that runs it was really nice. He got into character. He made it a lot of fun for everyone. This was my first escape room ever. I know.
You did great.
I've never done it before, and so it was fun.
It was the first time I was ever an escape room assistant.
Yeah, you were the assistant.
It was strange, but I liked it. They didn't give away the clues of the escape room to me, though. I just had to help in the beginning.
They do give you some clues throughout the mission, and they were very helpful. The kids are so smart, and they've done this so many times that they were really good at figuring out what had to go where and what puzzles had to be solved. And we escaped within the time frame.
Turns out only 35% of people that go in that escape room escape at all.
So, yay, kids. Good job.
Yeah, they did an excellent job. We did leave out something on the notes that I should probably bring up. We went on a ghost tour of historic Williamsburg. Well, let's talk about the ghost tour.
Okay.
Did you have fun?
I did have fun. It was very informative. I probably would have enjoyed more of a ghost hunt than a ghost tour, but I did like the information we got.
We did have some ghost hunt equipment.
Yeah, we did have a
EMF detector, and it did go off a few times.
It did.
One of the iDults that was with us could swear she saw a dark figure in the square.
And I truly, not saying we did or didn't see ghosts. I personally didn't see any ghosts, but I did like our tour guide. He really, truly knew a lot about the area, the houses we had looked at, the path that we took. So it was really nice to hear all his information, and he had a great way of delivering it.
And if you're into those, the historic Williamsburg ghost tour does happen to come across the Peyton Randolph House in Colonial Williamsburg, which is considered the most haunted house in Virginia. Incidentally, that's the same house that one of our iDults caught some, maybe pictures.
She has some really good pictures on her phone.
It appears to be some sort of aberration showing up quickly in a second floor window. Upon closer examination, it may almost be more than one aberration. The faces look slightly different frame to frame.
Well, that was our trip to Williamsburg, Virginia.
No, it wasn't. Cook's Burger Bar, where we got to listen to the only Jewish country singer in 200 miles.
I did forget Cook's Burger Bar.
Decent burger. You know what was there? French fried Spam.
Yeah, French fried Spam. Listen, I'm not a pro Spam kind of girl, but we tried French fried Spam. So
we did.
Pretty much they cut up Spam into long little rectangles, like French fry looking things. They deep fry it, and then they put some hot honey on it.
They did, and it was surprisingly good.
It was amazing.
I'm a Spam fan, as maybe you know or don't know. However, this was a new twist I had never heard of.
No, and it was really good. And yes, we did listen to a country singer who self-proclaimed is the only Jewish country singer who wears a yarmulke and plays music within 200 miles of Williamsburg.
And he was rocking, if you recall, a Disney, Hawaiian shirt. His music was good. The atmosphere is cool, very family friendly. If you're in the area and you're looking for a casual place just to grab a burger and try something different, Cook's Burger Bar may be your stop.
That was our trip to Williamsburg, Virginia. If you ever get a chance to go, you should. It's actually really quaint and fun, and it's a nice slow pace. It's a very relaxing trip.
The Patrick Henry, if you get the chance to go there, you can actually walk to historic. We did not do this, but you could walk to historic Williamsburg. It's right across the street. Only you're at the far end, so it's a little bit of a walk. That's it. Thanks for listening. Feel free to reach out, engage through the website, comments on the episodes, our social medias, and check out our merch off the website. Have a good one. Thanks for listening.
Just remember, you've got this, iDults. Keep your head up, your spirits high, and keep adulting with us. Go forth and conquer the world, or at least your to-do list.
And don't forget to like, follow, and or subscribe. Tell your friends, share the podcast, and head over to iDulting.com for more information and to connect with us. See you on the next episode. Be safe.